in English in the same video as in Latvian, right? Right? About the royal families. You can see in my window right here, you can see there's a heavy load right on back of this car. So driving is fun, especially when you start rolling down the hill. So at first I want to just tell you how was this information gathered, and well, to me it seems really accurate and precise, but I don't know the history, so I cannot confirm it. So just listen to it as a story and then make your own decisions. So how was this information gathered was a friend invited me to do some channeling, and said, okay, let's do some channeling. And we did. At first we channeled Enrico, and then we channeled some different information about the royal families. Now this was a strange topic. I just really sit there and said, let's look something about royal families. All right, there the information. We all started with I understood, my friend said this is how the Buckingham Palace looks. It's like a big building, but inside of this building there is like a garden, like a space with garden and something. And this royal family, this is the year of 1800. And in this year, this family is really like a empire, like a really powerful and really huge empire, really powerful, like just extraordinary power with its might, with its fleets, ships, and not only are they mighty, but also they are, I don't know how you say it, with beautiful dresses, with I didn't see ladies' dresses, I saw men, white pants, something like a sword in his hands, with a hat, and with this might, I understood they go to different islands, and they have different islands, and as soon as they step their feet on this island, they are so out of this world, like they are so high, these British fleet, navy, whatever they are, and and others there are just bows and sticks, nothing big, so they can just conquer, or how you call it. And that was the year 1800, and they had also different private islands, like huge islands, where they just had vacation houses. Like the family is really big. It's not like a small family. There's a family, I understood, with 12 or 13 heads in the family, like family members, and each has some kind of a field on which it controls or needs to look after, or is applied to, or is given the appliance to something. And they all share these islands where they just go, like they loved this idea. Everything was accurate. The bricks, the gardens, everything was beautiful and accurate. They loved it, they liked it. But I didn't see that they do actually aggressive or evil in some way. I see more that energy of the proudness, that energy of glamour, maybe you call it. I don't know how you call it. And they were just living out their, let's say, incredibly rich lives, incredibly with wealth, with glamour. They were just living out these lives. I need to get some speed, otherwise the course will not make it. Oh, this is it. Here we go. Please make it. Make it. I know you can. Yes, we got up. It's approximately 2 tons in the back and 1 ton in the car, and 1.2 liters of gas engine. So you don't expect much from this car. So carrying on. So my question then was, how did they establish their might? How did they establish their power? How did they set up? Because that was an incredible power then. That was like, and with this, like, I don't know how to say it, with this, their ships, they went in colonies. They went protecting each other, these families. Yeah, that was to me that was like amazing. That was like so amazing. I really like that impression, and I do believe that many souls are looking on that experience and then themselves are thinking, I want to have that experience as well. I want to be there. I want to live out that experience. All right. So I asked to the information, how do they establish their might? What is how can one create such a huge might? So it's not even, I don't think you cannot achieve something with hard work like this. It's not achievable with hard work. How is it possible that some like an elite family can have such a huge power or glamour or the royalty of it? How can it happen? And then there was this information about banks. 1,400 year, like we went back, and I saw horses with chariots, horses with wood wheels, like chariots with wood wheels, and with black chariots. They were colored black. So then there are huge buildings of people, like banks. They're like these huge buildings, and people go there and store their goods, gold. Store their gold. I understood that the gold was its value that was dominating. It wasn't like at that time. It wasn't like there is some kind of a paper money, really powerful or anything. There was this gold, like golden coins, golden rings, golden whatever, golden everything of gold. There was just pure gold everywhere. There was gold. So these huge banks, they stored these private savings from people into gold, and one can go and pick up their gold and go away and just store it in a safe place, like in a huge building with big rock walls and like a vault, you could say. Wait. And the information told that. The information told that. Wait. The information told that at that time it was really difficult because there were only horses and wood chariots. So it was actually really difficult to transport the loot, let's say the gold from, let's say, one countryside to another country. It was extraordinarily difficult just because the gold is really heavy, and these chariots, they are made of wood, and the horses and robberies and everything. It was extraordinarily difficult to transfer the wealth between one country and another country. So what they did is that this family came together, and I understood that France was also there. This royal family came together, and they said, let's make money. They decided that is something that can be of service between exchanges and transforming goods, like a value. So they decided to create some kind of a new money or paper money or something new at that time that was extraordinarily beneficial. Like, they were smart, they thought they are smart, and they they thought that these royal families invented a huge business opportunity. They didn't think that that's some kind of a manipulation. They truly felt that they have created something extraordinary, that they have developed a way, a method that you can transfer your goods easily from one bank to another country's bank, that you can easily do it. You don't need to carry those amounts of gold between banks or between the royal families and between the people, that you can just give them a paper signature or something, and that is equal to the amount of gold you have there. So, and what came to life, what came to true at that point was that it was highly beneficial for everybody, and also for the users, and also for the sake of how fast the currency exchanges between places. But that was also extraordinarily beneficial for the elite families, because they can print and create as much wealth as they needed to. And there was also an information that people, whether they store this gold inside their banks, that they don't actually take it out. But these families accepted that that's already their gold. That's already their gold. And there was another information also that they are not interested in actually having much gold around the world. They're not interested in having it. They're interested of having less and less gold around the world, because at that time I understood gold was a pure value. It was like a one true value, that and they decided that they want to take all this true value. Families and other elite, some kind of groups, don't have this tremendous amount of wealth, so they have it all. So their idea was to get this gold from others and give them some money, which is basically nothing. And yeah, so that was how they developed their wealth, and that was actually a really smart, at that time, that was a really smart firstly created banking, exchanging and transferring system that they were highly benefiting from. And because of that, they just created a complete dominance, or a full unlimited power, because they could print out as much as they wanted to. They could share out as much as they wanted to. So they use this power, they use this ability in their own ways. But I didn't see anything evil or something about the British royal family. I didn't see information that they were doing something tremendously evil or bad. I saw the information was that they were experiencing this glamour lifestyle completely, with all its proudness, with all its shininess, with all its I don't know, scale, and even beyond. They were like a true kingdom, like a true royal family. They were benefiting highly from it. So at some point later, one part of the family diverged and went to America, and basically setting up this same money structure in America. I didn't quite understood from the information, but what I felt was that that part which diverged, like one family member, they said the families with 12 or 13 members, and one member of them went to America, but that member somehow infiltrated in the royal family. The blood is the same. Like they have a family means that their blood, they pass on this from member to member, family member to family member. They colonize America. So what happened at that time? One family expanded to America, and they established the royal family in America. So basically, I just will skip some words here because my neck is already tired from speaking. But I think cities in America also have, like New Jersey, like or they have like especially the language is also English, like in Australia, and they have set up this let's say copy paste of something there. So yeah, so the royal family, one part of this family split to America. 100 year 1700 whatever. They went to this America. So that America now 1, 2, 3, and we are up. Good Corsa, good Corsa. So this American family, they were starting. They were playing this game, how you call it, say one thing, do another thing, completely different thing, but that another thing, all right, Corsa, we have another job, that another thing is just to hide the main idea, what they want to do. So it caused lots of confusion in the British royal family, because the British royal family what understood what they say with truth and with honesty to other family members. Like I mean, like I don't mean like kids and sons, and family members, like the family of the royal family, like the elites. They are truth. They speak and they trust each other, and they're like really like a family. But the American family, which split off, started doing things differently. They wanted to completely trick, to completely change, to completely do the opposite. Like, yeah, I'm telling you, this is how we work, but they start doing something else. And the royal family in British, they're like, what are you doing? This is not how you're supposed to do. But they do that reason also to disguise another hidden plan. So basically, they're just causing mass of different and confusing things that no one understands. So in the year of 1700, what I understood, or 1720, I don't know what happened there, the American family asked for help to the British family. I thought gold, or I thought resources or something. So the British family sent them like some kind of amount of resources to the Americans. But what happened then, at halfway, the Americans just destroyed the British fleet and everything drowned down. So that was a completely confusing part. What the hell happened? What did you need to do? And really, lots of amounts of gold just drowned. Really tremendous amounts of gold just drowned. And they said that the information said that for the British family, that gold wasn't that important. They were more interested in having less gold and less gold, so that no free gold can be accumulated. So nobody has too great power. So they, for my opinion, they thought that the more gold they control and the less gold there is outside somewhere, the more power they can sustain. And thus, if they can sustain this power, they can give out this paper money to be some kind of a, you have these pounds. It is equivalent to that amount of value that you just stored in your bank. So money in, gold in, nothing out. Just these paper values, right? And so that's what I felt from the information, that gold, it's better not to give it to somebody, but to allow it to drown or to control the amounts of the gold. But that was like the years of 1700, maybe 1800. I think nowadays it's completely different. So the Americans started completely creating confusion, misunderstanding, tricks, fake information, fake activities, to distract some kind of a major idea that the Americans wanted to have or to do. So at first they drowned this ship, the fleet. They were asking for the resources, but they themselves drowned this ship. And they didn't say that we drowned, like pirates or something, caught up in the middle. I definitely believe that there's somewhere in history written everything like down, everything is down. So the next thing was wait. The year of Corsa, do it, and it's done. The next information was that from the year of 1800 to the year of 1900, the British royal family started to lose its power, started to lose its supremacy, how you call it. This empire started to lose its touch, its feeling, its also its energy, and it was causing conflicts. It was causing weaknesses to their own power. And there was again another thing that happened. The Americans again asked for help to the royal family. I don't know, maybe they had a deal, but the information was that in the British royal family there was one part of that family who said, yes, we wanna help them and we wanna go there as well. Other part of the British family said, no, we don't trust them, we don't work with them, they like tricked us. But that one part was like trusting them, like really trusting them, and they decided that with all its wealth, or some part of its wealth, they will go to America to do whatever they want to do. I don't understand. I don't understand, but we didn't ask what. So, and what happened was that this is the year of 1912, the Titanic thing. So the Titanic was filled up with gold, with lots of gold and wealth, and maybe something more, I don't know. And with the royal family, we are now going to America. But there was a thing that happened. As soon as they went on, the British royal family decided, no, we will not give them wealth, anything we will not give them. And they took that gold from that ship back to the Britain. They took it back. They didn't allow the Titanic to reach the other shore. They didn't want it to be. They didn't want to allow it. So what happened was that it was a hidden setup, but the Americans knew that this was a setup. So, and what the Americans did then, shortly afterwards, they decided that they will create a war in Europe. And that family from America decided that we will create a war. There was like a huge deal, like a big deal, and it was hiddenly disguised and failed, and the Americans were not satisfied with this. So they decided to do a sneaky plan. And they built up and they created a war. So they financed the war in Europe against the royal establishment families that were here. The royal families that were here. So what happened was they set up this war in Europe to destroy the power of the British royal family, to destroy the power of them. And they did. And they set up their own money, this fake gold exchange money system. They set it up their own. So they went over the British established system already in Europe. They took it over from those families, destroyed everything, and set up their own American. And that's what I understood, a central or a global bank was developed in those years. So, and at that moment, the basically Europe is now America. At that moment, that was the year, the first world war, the first world war. So yeah, so and the information continued to nowadays. They said that nowadays that the Britain still holds lots of gold in their some kind of one of their castles, with the garden inside the middle, like a hollow castle in the middle. And but the royal family doesn't have its ability nor effect, because so many things are changing. There are new music, new era, new society. Everything is changing, and they cannot keep up. They cannot keep up with these strong changes in society, in the society. Yeah, okay. So they cannot keep up with it. But then the Americans, the information continued up to nowadays. The Americans still, as they have learned it to work, as it has worked before this, saying one thing, doing another thing, they started to even do it better and better and better. And the information was telling that in the year of 2012, there was a high breach into technologies. And this American royal family, it's only interested in developing and attaining more and more and more technologies throughout everywhere. And the idea is they want to establish and create their own strong, I'd say, like a voodoo magic of propaganda, like voodoo magic of mass hypnosis. And I will talk about this. I will talk about this, what this information talked about this, so you can have your own decisions. So I'm just sharing this information. So they see that this voodoo of mass hypnosis works. They have found it that it works. And they were more and more pushing to it. They were more aggressively pushing to this. Smells like rubber. Right, I will better stop. Although no tires are soft, I will still stop just to make sure everything is okay. Give me a second. Okay, everything is completely fine. But I don't know what smells like rubber. Maybe just on the inside. Okay, so they are setting up this mass hypnosis voodoo throughout the environment they control, or throughout the environment. There's burning. They're burning something. Okay, so just to make sure, double check it better than having problems with something later on, more stronger. So they were having this idea of this mass voodoo hypnosis, let's call it like this. They wanted, that was their power, that was their I don't know, not like purpose, but they have found it to work, these Americans. So what they started to do is, in nowadays, the Americans, what they are doing, and what have they been doing a long time ago, they were developing and creating more and more technologies, like TVs, like mobile phones, like everything, to just nail you with tremendous amounts of information, fake information, true information, any type of information, any type of information. So to my comparison, it will be, we have landed on the moon, and they themselves create information. No, we didn't land on the moon. It's a conspiracy theory. The second tell, no, you both are wrong, and they create fake news, real news, other news, just nailing and screaming, yes, we landed on the moon. No, we didn't land on the moon. And they create this full media, full environment of fake, untrue news. But the point is, what I understood from the information, what the information was telling is that it creates a whirlpool in your head. It creates a thoughtless state in your head that humans become dummies. Humans become really stupid. They become unaware of what's actually going on. They are in like a deep trance state. It's like, what I saw is like how the mind works. It wants to accept, yeah, this is true, I'm start following this. Let's say the earth is round, I want to follow this. Okay, that's a way to follow this. We use trees, we use grass, we eat this, we eat that, I want to follow this. They will create completely opposite fake news. They will create anything, and the human is like floating on the air. The mind itself wants to attach to a belief system, and this belief system can help the person to live out his life. The belief system is okay. The mind finds the thing it wants to believe in, accepts it, and just lives out. And the person is fully aware of what and if, but he's focused on things. He can work and he could be really focused on things, right? But if the person is constantly being blasted and nailed and hammered with fake, unreal, real, different, opposing informations and constantly being nailed, he loses its logical thinking, its thinking itself. So, and the beings were like telling me and showing me this information. Now, how does it work? So, with this mass hypnosis, what they have, they can do everything what they wish without anybody else even judging it or even doubting the ideas of believing whether it's true or not. So they showed me an idea, an image like a black van drives to a store and just carries everything out and says, well, this now belongs to a property of the governmental property, and here's the paper why it belongs to governmental property. And the owner is like, oh yeah, okay, I understand, okay, right. It doesn't do anything. But the normal thinking people would just stop. What are you doing? That's my property, that's mine. I've been working my life to have it, and what are you doing? But they show him some kind of a paper, and he's like, all right, okay, right. And he doesn't understand anything. He just allows to carry it out. He doesn't do anything. And people walking by, people that walk by, are like, hey, that's a robbery. And they show, no, this is a governmental, what kind of an act, and blah, blah, blah. And people, oh, okay, right, okay, right, so it's okay. And they can just incredibly do what they wish with this mass hypnosis engine that they are developing even more and more. And what I understood from the year 2012, they started creating some kind of supercomputers that still carries on this tremendous amount of mass hypnosis control, let's say mass hypnosis control. So another thing what the information told was, you just look at some kind of silly coronavirus, you just look at some kind of no, the information didn't tell this, I told you this now, but the information was like telling like this, but I create this comparison my own self just to explain this idea a little better. Now, just look at this. There's a coronavirus. People are brainwashed with statistics, with fake news, with fake statistics, with fake everything. They're brainwashed. They believe it, and they just create the opposite news themselves. And the humans are like in a garden, running around, hitting them heads between the trees and not understanding anything. They're becoming like zombies. They're becoming like a thoughtless zombies because the mind itself wants to accept a belief, but it cannot accept because there is instantly an opposite belief system there trying to hit it. And so the mind is like constantly being like in a trance state. And normally what happens when we are away from the media, when we are away from this trance state, when we are away of it, for example, go to the forest and countrysides, we just sit down for a week or 2 days or whatever the period, and we're like, what the hell, where was I living? And your mind starts adopting harmonizing to the things, and it starts looking, okay, to do this I need to do this, to have this I need to do this, and it starts having a harmonious reaction and thinking all the time. But as soon as you turn on the television, you read the Facebooks, you read the news, you watch the YouTubes and everything, you're being constantly hit, hammered, nailed, like a concrete, smashed over with concrete of ideas, of opposing concepts, opposing ideas. The earth is flat. No, it's not flat. It's round. You've been lied to. And the same president on the news will tell you, conspiracy theorist, ha ha, and he will just start to laugh there. That's the main idea of this mass hypnosis, to have a completely opposing thinking about topics, to have a complete opposite and loud positions about other, like let's say like global warming. They would create this huge media of global warming. They can create them themselves and feed it themselves with information. And then a politician will come on stage and tell to people, you know, this is such bullshit. Global warming here is ice, and just throw it down. That's what I think about global warming. And insultingly, with anger, with insults to any other, with a strong voice, just creates a new opposing thing. And these humans are like, okay, that was this, and they're in this this place of this whirlpool of voodoo hypnosis. Let's call it just a strong hypnosis. So, and what happens on the background of all that? At the background, they can do whatever they wish. They can do completely whatever they wish. They can infiltrate with new internets. They can infiltrate with some vaccines. They can infiltrate with chips. They can infiltrate with everything they wish. And what I understood, one of their things is also about this voodoo is people don't like vaccines. People don't like chips. And unfortunately, if you know how strong is your immune system, it's a nano computer. It's a nearly a perfect nano computer. You mean immune system. It doesn't need no chips, no vaccines. It doesn't need it. It's like a circus. People are fighting against it, but in the media and the news, they will be always talking about something else. They will be talking about a war there. They will be talking about some economical fake crisis. They will be showing a huge circus, amusement of huge nonsense. And at the background, they can do what they wish. They can completely do what they wish. And they need humans to be zombies. They need it. They need humans to be non-thinking, non-understanding, non-judging zombies. That's how their power is established. That's how their power works. So, on that person who was next to me, he was also asking, how can we stop this? And they said, well, basically you cannot stop it, but you can in a way. If people of top science or top medical environments come together and just open share, because the people around will start trusting these people who are in top science or in top medicine, that they know these things, they know how it works, or finance, whatever. And as soon as they start talking about this, like have the courage and start speaking about this, even how the mass hypnosis works and what's the point of it, as soon as people start talking about it, they will eventually just turn off their televisions. They will eventually just shut down their Facebooks of something complete nonsense doing over and over again. They will just stop paying attention to and just stop doing it, because they're aware that you've been layered into this mass hypnosis. You're consciously being guided into this mass hypnosis. It's like this voodoo magic of mass hypnosis. And yeah, so that was the idea, that people just come together. And 3 and 3, you have a lot to think now, a lot to think over. If you have any questions, you can write those questions. I will try to remember what else was there. I think I shared the main information, and then when I got home, I was like, I really like the feeling of the royal British family, how superb or superior they were. I really like that the islands and how the ships maneuvered and how they float. I really like that information. There was information with China. Basically, only America and China and Russia together. China is more to green energy. They're more traded with an AI softwares, with AI establishments. They are basically, the AI is taking over not only America but all over the Europe. The AI is just, it's like what I saw is like a separate consciousness that comes from a different planet and takes over everything. And when the AI starts taking over, people, because of this mass hypnosis, will not have any judging power into their life. Everything will be taught and given to them. Everything will be taught and shown to them. Everything will be told in front of them, and they will just do it. And there was this images that, well, they wish to have it like this, that the AI takes also over the people. So when AI takes over the people, there will be America and Europe zombies, that no soulless people, just the AI decides what it wants to do, and all those people are doing it. It's like everybody is doing what the computer tells them to do. Like everybody is doing this. The information told, but they will not succeed. And they have a huge competitor against them in the opposite side, the China. They have a huge competitor, which is also really talented, really smart, and really up to earth, thinking about the earth as well. What I understood, the China is thinking about renewable resources. The China is thinking about renewable energy, and etc. and etc. So China is like a huge power. And what I understood also from this information was that the America knows that. Basically, America and Europe knows that about the China. Anything from China, like between actors, like with goods, with anything that is produced. So that was also interesting. But yeah, I think that was it about the information about the mass hypnosis. That was also, to me, an interesting point of view, how it works. And yet so many people are affected by this mass hypnosis, like nearly every day is just doing nothing, just sitting on Facebook and doing nothing. And if you search the YouTube, I don't think compared with this voodoo stuff or eagle, then I will think you will see that there is completely opposite topics about everything. You can find completely opposite topics about everything. So that's the way the voodoo of hypnosis works. And yeah, so I'm thinking if I did tell everything. But anyway, I think that was an interesting history look back. Interesting about the royal families. And to me, especially, was interesting about the mass hypnosis as well. So, yeah, and see you guys on another video. Well, I will not see you, but you will see me on another video. Basically, you will not see me. You will see just a recording of this driving video. So, and remember to go into the website artlineofflinepeace.info, where you could actually write your questions if there are some questions for a topic that you wish channel. So you can go there and ask some couple of questions about everything. So yeah, good day and goodbye.